My name is Gracielia Pizania.
My name is Hortencia Lopez.
And where did your family come from, and when did they come to Lenawee County?
We're from Laredo, Texas, and we came, to the best of my recollection, we came to Lenawee County 1954 or 1955.
From where?
We had been migrant, doing migrant people, so that year, we went all around. We came here, we went to Florida, we came back here again to Lenawee County. A whole year, we just went around following the crops.
So were the other stops between Florida and Michigan?
Yeah, from Michigan, we went to Arkansas. From Arkansas, we went to Florida. From Florida, we came back again to Monroe. And so that's how we first came, but that's the year that we stayed. Either it was 54 or 55.
How many is in your family now, and how many did you have when you came up here?
Irma was the baby, so that's 7, Irma?
Mm-hmm.
7. There were 7 of us then, and then three of my other siblings were born here in Lenawee County. There's 10 of us altogether.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And what kind of crops were you working?
All over, or
Yeah.
Okay, we did tomatoes, potatoes, cotton, green tomatoes, green peppers, cucumbers, cherries. What else?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Those are the crops that we did.
Do you have any particular memories you have of getting the crops, like tomatoes, picking tomatoes or strawberries? What kind of memories do you have from those?
Oh God.
Cherries. We used to, the cherries were, the white powder they have because, for the insects and everything. And we used to get those sweet cherries when we were picking. We would just wipe them off in our jeans and we would eat them. The tomatoes, Tench and I were remembering, we used to, when it was time to eat, we used to wash our hands with the tomatoes, with ripe tomatoes. And those are the we were remembering the other days, the thing we used to do. And we were young, we were kids, so to us it was fun. It was working with all different people at different times, and getting to know people from all over. I suppose for my mom and dad it was very hard, but for us, at least for me, it was fun just getting to know other people. I was learning to dance. I remember Tench and I were talking about that, and going to different dances with different places. So those are the things that I remember about, So for me, it wasn't a hardship.
Was it just your immediate family that traveled, or did you travel with other, like uncles and aunts?
We traveled with troqueros,
They weren't
with
related.
the truck. We had actually that's how we stayed in Adrian, because my mom had a cousin here in Adrian, so we came to visit them, and we went back, and then we went with them to Florida. And then that's when we decided to stay here. But it was because of family that we stayed here. Okay.
But but my dad had a car by then. When we first came here, we came in a truck with other people, a truck driver, a troquero that we used to say, and then there was people. I don't remember how many people came, how many families, but it was in the back of a truck with a
Canopy.
just cover and then that's the way we traveled over here when we first got here. But then after that, my dad got a car, so we did go with my uncle and aunt and cousins to Florida, but they went in their car and we had our car there. So that's so we traveled with family, but not not in the same vehicle.
But how did you hear about Lenawee County or Adrian? Was it just part of the circuit, or?
No,
No.
that was because of my mom. My mom having a cousin over here. And we came to visit them. You know, my mother found out that he lived over here, so we came to visit them once or twice. You know, and they used to tell us to stay, you know, they used to encourage us to stay. And, but it wasn't until we came back, you know, that we did the whole year just going around following the harvest, that we came back, that my mom decided we were gonna stay. We weren't gonna be, like I said, for us it was fun, but for her it wasn't.
Did you work the fields when you were a child?
Oh yeah,
So
we all.
were you out there all day, or did you just?
Oh no, we were there all day. You know, when we were working the summertime and all that, we were there all day. We were part of the whole family worked so we could survive. And then even when we stayed here and we started going to school, my mom was very, she believed in school, she believed in education, so we had to go to school. And then after we came home in the afternoon, we used to go to the fields and pick maybe a couple of hours or something like that. So we did that.
Sometimes when we would stay like, okay, me, but we have to have a note from school. We used to go to medicine school, and we would take like a month off or 3 weeks to pick tomatoes in Riga, and they will let us do that. And then after the tomatoes were gone, then we came back home and we came to school.
Who decided your family was going to stay here?
My mom.
My mom said that she wanted her kids to have an education and have roots. And she told my dad, if you want to go, you go. I'm staying here with my kids, so we stayed.
What did you leave in Texas? What did you have a home there, or?
No, we just to rent, you know, so we left family, you know, and I suppose furniture that my mom had, and, you know, I think what it hurt her the most was leaving all the pictures. She was a person that took pictures wherever we went. And I think, you know, that's one of the things that you know, whenever she talked about anything, it was those pictures that she left behind. But other than that, you know, we didn't have very much when we were in Texas, so we just picked up and, you know, came over here. That's what I remember.
Okay, when we were in Sheridan, we came to pick cucumbers. This is a funny story, okay? I must have been maybe 9, 8, around that time. We had never been up here. So we went to Sheridan. I don't know how we ended up there. So we went to Sheridan, and we were gonna pick pickles. So we go to the fields, and we start picking pickles. I mean, we had those sacks full of, but we had pickles. I mean, they were this big. Some of them were yellow. We got to where we were gonna sell it, so they could, well, that's not what they wanted. They wanted the little ones. So we worked all day, all of us, for about $3. What they did, they bought the cucumbers, but they gave them to the pigs.
Oh.
We didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't know, you know, and so then we learned. They wanted to pickle them. They wanted the little ones, you know. So
Did you stay on the farm, or did you?
yeah,
Oh,
No,
yeah.
okay.
They
So
had-
you had little camps.
yeah, yeah.
Everywhere we went, there was housing.
Okay.
You know, that was everywhere, so we stayed.
And what else did they provide besides the housing? Was there furniture? Was there
Nothing.
nothing?
No,
Just the 4 walls.
no, well, we had to have had a table, and
Did
we
mine
had to
have?
have had a bed, something to sleep on,
Well, I don't remember that, but
you know, but that's all they, you know, I mean.
Running water?
Oh, no, please.
Not inside, well, we had a pump, you see Irma and.
That was in Florida.
No, but it's still here,
Yeah.
we didn't have water, you know.
Yeah, no.
And the bathrooms you shared with everybody else?
Oh, yeah,
The
they were
outhouses?
outside,
Yeah,
outhouses.
An outhouse, yeah.
Do you remember traveling on the truck?
Oh, I remember
Well,
traveling.
what
in
kind
the
of
truck.
feelings did you have?
We were young,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Did you travel at night, or did you stop?
Oh, we just kept going. You know, my dad, the man that we came with had 2 trucks, And my dad was one of the drivers of one. And then the owner of the trucks was the other owner. But we didn't feel, I mean, it was just fun, you know. We were young. We didn't know any better. I remember one thing that I do remember was must have been hot, you know, and there was this car, and they had these kids coming out of the window, and they were throwing ice cream.
Popsicle sticks? Or?
I think it was ice cream bars. And they were throwing in the back of the truck, and there were the guys over there holding, you know, catching those. I don't know how many they gave us or anything, but those young people, that's what they were doing. They were throwing that. I mean, to me, they were doing something good. You know, it was a nice gesture from them. You know, at least that's the way that, you know, that I took it. So.
What was lunchtime out in the fields? What did you do?
Noon.
No?
At noontime.
No. What did you eat, and did everybody get together? And
We used to eat, at dinner time we would eat, and this is all over, okay? And we would eat under the tree or under the truck or whatever, wherever we could find a shade, okay? And my mom used to make taquitos de frijoles, boiled potatoes, and boiled eggs, okay? And sometimes they would go to the store and get bologna, bread, and pop. And to us, that was such a treat. You know, bologna sandwich, you know. That's the way it was, okay. But, you know, like it was potatoes. And to this day, one of my sisters, she hates boiled potatoes. Because she says, I remember those things. She said, I hate them, you know. So.
And you know, when we go somewhere, you know, that we go in the car and we're going to Florida or Texas or something, what I pack boiled eggs, boiled potatoes. I love that.
With that hot sauce.
With the red hot sauce, yes. And I would eat that way, you know. I mean, my other sister hates it. I like it, you know.
which sister hates it?
Yolanda hates that, you know.
In what order? Is Yolanda oldest?
No, I'm the
You're
oldest.
the oldest, and then Yolanda.
Tencha, and then Yolanda,
And then Leonor.
and then Leonor, and then Irma.
She's one of the youngest, you know, so. She was the youngest one when we were migrant workers, she was. I mean, that were traveling,
Right.
she was the youngest one, you know.
What about babysitting? Who's in charge of babysitting? Like for Irma when you're
Well,
out in the fields, or
Usually, my sister Leonor, usually, and she complains about it now, okay? She was the one that stayed home. And we went to the fields, she stayed home. And she took care of the,
the home was the cottage or the cabin or whatever, or
wherever,
Where
I
you
mean,
were,
we
yeah.
lived.
If there was a house, you know, and the house had rooms, then every family had one room. One room. So, and yeah, Leonor took care of the younger ones. But I think when you grow up like that, it just automatically
It's life.
that, you know, John would take care of of Marie. He would take care of Irma. I mean, he was just a little boy himself. Leonor would take care of, it would have been John, Marie, Irma. And she herself was but it was
And
just...
she was little too.
But that was expected. You know, that was the way you grew up. And I think that's the way, I think that's why migrant families are close. Because you need, everybody has a job and you do it to survive. You know, so there wasn't such thing as, we didn't know. If there was, we didn't know about, you know, nowadays, you know, you have that program with the migrant workers where the bus comes and picks them up and takes care of them all day, and then they go back home. There weren't those programs way back then, you know, when we were in the fields. And if they were, we didn't know about it.
how did you keep track of the hampers of whatever crop you were picking?
My dad would take care of, you know, all that, you know. So that was, there was he would take care of the, whatever count, how many hampers or whatever you made. He was the one that had the count, and he was the one that would go and take it to the truck driver or take it to the farmer or whatever. He was in charge of that. He knew that.
Did you have to pay the truck driver who took you around to all the sites?
I am sure that we did, coming from Texas to over here. I'm sure there was a charge, but like I said, Dad was a driver, so I don't know how much. I don't know how much they paid, if they paid, and to take us around, I don't think so. It was just part of that. That truck driver would take us on Saturday to go and buy groceries and do whatever we had to do. I think that was part of the deal. I think that, like the companies that he would bring us for all those pickles, cucumbers, whatever that, I think they used to pay him a certain amount to bring, for like I said, they need 25 people, he would bring those 25 people for a certain amount of money. But I really don't know how it went.
What I remember when we were in Florida, we were working by the hour, okay? And I can't remember how much they paid us, but I think like 25%, like 25 cents or 20 cents went out of every hour, went to the truck driver, because he was the one that got us the job and all that. So that was like,
That's more than $3 a day, right?
Well, I don't remember what it was. All I remember, they got so much out of every hour, because they were the ones that got us the job and all that.
With the whole family being out in the fields earning money, did the money all go to one general pot, or were you able to keep some of it or all of it, or
No,
for each child?
Everybody, we contribute everything to the household. Saturdays, however, half a day. We always work half a day on Saturdays. Whatever we made that day was for us, and that was I guess that was one of the treats that we had. I don't remember, did we do it all the time or just when we were in the cherry?
We were in the cherries. Yeah.
When we were picking cherries, and I think that was because we bought our own clothes to go to school.
Was that in Traverse City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traverse City and Hart.
And tell me some of your, let's start with you, some of your childhood memories in Lenawee County. Like
Childhood memories?
childhood, yeah, like going to parties, piñatas.
No, we just, we used to go to the dances at school. We used to, just what every 12, 13-year-old does, we used to do that, because we were going to school here, so we were in that program already, whatever lifestyle, so, but as far as going to piñatas and all that, I don't remember.
For one thing, my mom would let us go anywhere.
No, my mom was a very
Protective
protective
person,
so
so
we were not allowed.
We were not allowed to go somewhere. And I think, dances, school dances, that was okay. We could go to them, but as far as staying over somebody else's house or sleepovers, there wasn't such a thing as that,
Movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, except Mexican movies was a treat too.
Where was that?
That was a
Morenci.
family thing.
Yeah, Morenci.
Oh, Rancy.
I know, and they used to take us to, when we lived in Britain, there was a theater in Britain, Tecumseh. And we used to go to the movies there. And we came to the movies over here to Adrian too. Movies, yes.
But not Mexican or Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
The only Mexican movies we went to were in Morenci.
Okay.
That was where it was. Morenci and Blissfield. Blissfield too.
Yeah.
There was a time when they were giving
I remember
Mexican
that.
movies. Huh?
What are your childhood memories?
Well, like I said, we had fun.
Yeah.
Whatever we were doing, because we were young and we didn't know the hardships that our parents were, having. But we said right now, as far as going places or doing things.
How about Christmas?
Oh,
Oh, Christmas, if we get a gift, that was, quite a bit. I know my mom always made tamales, and to this day we still celebrate Christmas with tamales. No, we'd never had a tree way back then. We didn't have a tree, and I think food was the only thing that I remember about, Christmas.
Church?
We did. We went to, we weren't going to the Catholic church. Oh, my mom's cousin, we call it uncle. He wasn't Catholic. He belonged to a Baptist church.
rather on Crosswell?
Crosswell. So we used to go over with with them, and they had plays and everything. So we went to church at that church quite a bit, and they included us. It was like they helped us. They helped us a lot. So I don't think I felt like I was. I never felt like I didn't belong because of those people here, they had been here for a long time. So they included us in the things that we were doing. So I felt that I belonged.
Excuse me. Tell me where you lived in Lenawee County, starting with the first place that you lived.
We lived in Brighton, and that $20 a month house that Tencha was talking about. And then we moved to another house still in Britain, and it burned down. So then we came back to Adrian, and then we started going to medicine school. And then
We
from
live in
there,
South Winter.
South Winter.
Okay.
And I got married real young, so I was 17 when I got married. So I left like a year or 2 years after we got here to Adrian. So then I was gone. Yeah.
Were your parents both working, or just your father, or who was working, and where?
Well, we worked in the fields, that's when I lived at home. And then my dad, when we first stayed, my dad had a job in Milan, but he soon lost that job. So then we lived for, still working in the fields, that's where, what we did. And then my mom got a job at Siena Heights, and my dad got a job at, what was that?
Henry, Marietta.
Marietta, Martin Marietta.
Marietta.
So then, but all this time they lived, now I didn't live at home anymore, but they lived in Jasper.
Okay, from South Winter, we moved to over on Treat Road, and I think it was Jasper, and then from there, we moved to Fairfield. In Fairfield, my mom would live there for over 30 years, so that was the last, and then we moved into Adrian.
When you lived on South Winter, was that on the dirt road? Or,
Yeah, it used to be dirt road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. How were you?
Still outhouses, but we did have electricity there.
Now, when you went to school, did you feel accepted? Like you said, you were accepted at the church. At school, did you feel accepted?
I think at Madison I did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had, in my grade, I don't know about the girls, but I did.
Enter?
One thing about my mom was always, even though she didn't have anything, she always did her best. She always had us clean and all that. So, we were accepted because, even though we were real poor, we were always very clean, and my mom always tried to make the best of whatever she had. So that helped us a lot.
in. We blended in.
We blended in, yeah, very easy.
Did you go to Sand Creek, or did you
No, I
graduate
didn't go
from
to St.
Madison?
Creek Medicine.
Okay. And I'm just thinking, what kind of sayings? You said your mom was really pushing education. Does she have any sayings or any memories of what she would say to encourage you to go on?
She would tell us, and this is what her way, she had her way of doing things, okay? She says, I want you to go to school because I don't want you to be working like a burra out in the fields like I did. He says, I want you guys to have a better life. That was her whole goal. You know, education and hard work. She said, I never hurt anybody. So that's what she used to tell
Was
us.
she born in Texas?
No, she was born in Mexico.
How about your father?
He was born in San Antonio,
San Antonio.
somewhere. Somewhere near San Antonio. Yeah. So.
What part of Mexico did your mom come from?
I really don't know the state,
Okay.
you know.
Is it the northern part?
It was,
I think
think
it's
it
called
might have been
Esperanza, but I don't know where.
Coahuila. She was born Rosita, Nueva Rosita. She used to mention those names, Nueva Rosita, and that's Coahuila. Esperanzas, I think, are, you know, all those. I
And
think
did she
the
have
state.
family there?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did she ever go visit?
Pardon?
Did she go visit them in Mexico?
Not very much because, I mean, maybe they live like from here to Lansing, but it was a long ways because it cost money, you know. I mean, they didn't have a car, so they had to go by bus or train or whatever, you know. So.
No, but when we moved over here,
We just
when we moved over here, she went several times to Laredo, and she went to Rosita, and because two of her sisters lived over there. But I don't think that she ever went to visit any of the other relatives she had, like her cousins. She went to visit her sisters, but she didn't go visit her cousins and all the other people that were part of her life, because they lived further into Mexico. Do you ever remember her going?
I only ask because my mom would go every 2 or 3 years to Tamaulipas in Mexico to visit family. Do you have any memories of or incidents of discrimination that you felt?
Irma, do you remember? Remember, go ahead, tell about the
I'll tell you.
Raiga, when that she said to you and the teacher said, go ahead.
You can, one of the children, yeah.
Did you want to go on, Ken?
No, not really. In Riga, so I was in probably kindergarten. I remember, and me and my sister and my brother, those are the only 3 I remember going to that school in Riga. I'm not sure if the older ones were in Madison or where you were, but somehow we went working the field with my parents, and we went to school in Riga, kindergarten, my sister and I, and I do remember that we were late coming into the school year, maybe by a month or so. I don't know when tomato season is, but I do clearly recall that my sister and I were seated at a separate table at the back of the room, and I don't recall any specific words that were said, but the intent was clearly you need to be kept separated from the rest of the class.
Didn't they
So-
one time they put you in the hallway? Didn't you say that?
Oh, no, I don't know what you want. This was same school, same teacher, and my sister, who's a year and a half older than I, is developmentally disabled, so she and I were always, almost always in the same classroom. And for some reason, she was upset, she was crying, you know, and she was calling for our brother, who was like 2 years older than she. And she was upset and crying. We were in the drinking fountain line, and the teacher couldn't get her to quiet down, so she did slap her, and you know, as the means of getting her to stop crying. But, so I
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah,